Hey, good evening, everyone. How are we doing? And tonight I'm doing a very special live. I'm going to be joined by two lovely ladies. I've done a couple of lives with them. They've been on my Mindset Explosion show last year. I had such a great time. I got invited back to collaboration lives that they were doing. So I'm really looking forward to tonight. We're going to talk about transform your thinking from lockdown to success. We've just had a great chat. I think we've nearly missed coming on live. So, so once you are watching, if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay for me. So I will introduce you. Let me bring them on into a set. But we've got Angg is coming on to talk about her experience of well-being, what she's been up to, and of course Iwona. And I just love that energy that they bring. They're both great friends. They got a great relationship, and whatever they put their heads to. My gosh, I get inspired watching. I do miss their lives, but they've both been so busy, and we'll probably talk about that in just a sec. So let's bring them on. First of all, let's bring on Angg. Hello.
Hi.
And Iwona. Hello.
Hi everyone. Hi. So nice to see you. Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
We check though, it's probably not that long. But time has just expanded.
In some places it got shorter. It's just like, look, we just had a New Year celebration, and we in a week and a half we're gonna be in March.
Yeah,
right?
We're like back to when it all started, right?
I cannot believe it's nearly a year since we went into lockdown. It feels very long and very short at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I get mixed up with it. Anyway, I don't want to go down there because when you start thinking about the universe and your head goes a bit.
Wow, but that's the title of your broadcast, Mindset Explosion.
Exactly.
That's what happens to us, yeah.
Yeah, right. Listen, I'm so glad that we've managed to work this out. I know we've been speaking about it a little bit last few months, and I just had such a great time when you came on last time, and when obviously you were doing the collaboration. I really loved the live show that you two both you put on, but I know you've both been so busy. So tonight we're gonna just I guess share our experiences of lockdown, and we've had just talking off air, we've had highs and lows, right?
Yeah.
And we'll share them and how we kind of we've coped with it, and hopefully someone will be able to resonate and use that for themselves. If anyone's watching, if you've got any tips or any questions whilst we're watching, drop them in, we'll pop them up, and we'll go from there. So yeah, and well, hopefully we maybe talk about some of the goals that each of us have got. We didn't get onto that just now, but maybe some of the things that are happening for us this year. So yeah, let's kick things off. So I mean, we talked a little bit about the great relationship that you both got, and I'd like to cover that at some point in this episode or live, this bonus, whatever you want to call it.
It's all a bonus, yeah.
Yeah, it's all a bonus. But yeah, we're talking about. In a way, some of us may have felt locked down, trapped a little bit in our heads, and as I'm saying that, and how we just spoke a minute ago, there's parts of me have felt almost, I'm locked down completely. It's not mentally and physically, and obviously I've had to just work on that. How's it been for you, Angg?
Just like I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, I think this current lockdown has been the worst for me, and mainly because of the winter, just blues, shortage of the days, that was the main thing. I love summer. I love, just beautiful weather, longer days, this ability of going out there and just enjoy outdoors. Winter time is kind of taken away from us, especially in England when you have lots of wind, you have lots of rain, it's just not so pleasant. And because everything was shut down at the same time, I felt like everything was taken away from us. So, for that reason, this current lockdown being the worst one, but I likely have lots of stuff that I can focus on that keeps me sane. So last year I had lots of things to do, which was great, but I know that this year, if I didn't develop some of the skills which I started, working on last year, I would probably struggle even more. So What about you, Iwona? Because I know you're like a crazy person. I was looking for a different word, but I thought, probably I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, you call it as it is. Yes,
Yeah.
fine. To be honest, it comes like a wave, like a shock. The very first lockdown was a shock. Then we kind of got used to it. Then we thought it's over, and then we had the third one, and it has been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But everything for me happened so quickly, and I very quickly adapted my thinking, and I said, okay, this is the situation. I can either complain about it or do something about it, use it to my advantage. And like you said, the weather wasn't, middle of the winter, it was wet, cold, whatever. So you know what? I've actually decided, and this was my best investment of the year. And I bought myself a pair of very nice light wellies. And that meant, and I dug out my old waterproofs. That meant I could embrace the weather, and I could actually go into the woods with my boy and jump the puddles and don't worry about, the mess. We could actually be messy. So we actually needed that messy weather to have that experience. So my mindset was like, okay, this is the situation. I'm gonna focus on what I can do, not what I cannot do. And I went from there.
And that's great.
Brilliant.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, so I think we said off air, it's probably a bit similar to Angg. I mean, I used to love Christmas. I really loved it, but for whatever reason, it's just, it became a bit of a struggle. But I'd say the last one was the nicest one I've had in such a long time. And I think that's just where I've accepted that like you said, Yvonne, I have these ups and downs, and I now know that's a part of me where I've just changed and I've evolved, but for the better. And I realize that, that this is something that's part of me. And now I know when it's happening, and I can, do something to kind of work those things out. I've joined up a couple of mastermind programs, which is all of, like me. I have to feel like I'm growing. I have to feel like I'm doing something. And I've made some great connections on there. Some great, good people that for me to kind of look up to, aspire to. And one of the projects I've started this year, because I think I said as well, I don't know if I've been lost, but I love doing the mindset stuff. I love doing, putting live videos out and sharing, and hopefully people get something from that. I get a big thing from that, and I consider doing, one-to-one coaching or group coaching with that. But in another sense, a part of me has done that through when I was teaching martial arts. So I'm looking to I've set a goal of buying 6 businesses by next year. I have no money. So that's a massive challenge. and I'm going to do it. Yeah, and I'm going to do it. I've just been literally on the phone and Zoom calls. Obviously, my children have been back and forth a little bit with me. So same as the last lockdown, that's been good. So I've just kept myself. I think I've redefined my purpose, and it's just how I like to give. I like to help people. If there's something I feel it's going to help, then I feel that's part of me. That's one of my needs, I guess. So it's just doing that in the way that's going to suit me. And I like being busy, but also I like my rest. I like my chill out time.
Balance.
Balance. That's exactly. Yeah, and it's a bit like I don't know if we said that off before we came live or just now, but I think you said it, Angg. We need. I think you both said it. We need the darkness and the light. Yeah.
Yeah. The light can't exist without the shadow.
Yeah.
So everything, both of them have a purpose. And if you can look at it, with this perspective, like there is a purpose in the light as well as in the shadow, then it's so much easier. Especially when you think about things like that, nothing is like permanent. It's just a temporary thing. Nothing lasts forever. Everything will pass. Whatever it is, it will pass. That helps you to. It puts things in perspective for you. It's easier to deal with things when they are challenging.
Yeah.
When you apply this kind of mindset, So.
And guys, what you just said, and I love that, because the perception, there is light, right, and the darkness, and we think the light is good, the darkness is bad. But actually the light is when we enjoy what we've done, but the darkness, it would actually push us forward. We cannot enjoy the light if we don't have the darkness.
Yeah,
the change happens in the darkness, it doesn't happen in the light.
Yeah, pain and pleasure, right? We
Yeah.
want to avoid pain, and then to get the things that we want. If we're avoiding if there's a significant pain factor there. I think I used to do this years ago with teachers. Most people want to get started in something because they're running from a pain. Sometimes they couldn't identify that, and it really helped. I found that people were more successful when they could identify, I feel unconfident, I want to get more confident. So, if I keep it quite straightforward, so I don't want to have the pain of feeling unconfident again, but I want that pleasure of feeling, be able to walk in the room and not necessarily own the room, but just feel comfortable, feel confident. Do you know what I mean?
Take your space and be comfortable with who you are.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it took me a long time to realize that, Iwona, that you needed that, because I was always having to be bouncing around like a crazy person and letting my weirdness come out. And I forgot that. Well, I didn't take stock of the fact that I did need. You do need those dark moments.
Yeah, they're very important. But I think you have to go through so many to actually realize that's where the growth is.
Yes.
And the butterflies don't just emerge, they have to sit in the darkness, in being uncomfortable, to actually become a butterfly into the light.
Yeah, 100%. And every experience, whether it's good or bad, has played an important role in creating who you are today.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think there is good and bad. I think we need them all. We need to embrace everything.
Do you know what is popping into my head right now? I'm thinking what we are talking about right now is a perfect description of being a Yang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is. It's that. It's wholeness.
Yeah. I did an interview. A lady called Tina. She's originally from Chapman. You two would love her. Oh my God, the surname's gone. So if anyone's watching and remembers, just drop it in the comments. Help me out. But she talked a little bit about this. She's does meditation teaching in Canada, but same, loads of energy. But she said, we do need this, and I think that's probably where do you know what? That's so true. It's okay to, and I'll have days, and I'll just think, not today. I'm not doing anything. I am gonna chill. I might feel miserable. It's okay. And like you said, Iwona, it's gonna pass. I'm gonna be okay. And actually, I find it passes much quicker when I accept it.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. When you embrace it, when you actually go in, you come out quicker rather than resisting. And yeah.
Whatever you resist persists.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It really is that simple.
So guys, how can we help others to move from lockdown to success? What tips would you give when people at the minute they feel stuck? Some people feel stuck and unhappy and frustrated. What tips can you give them to shift that into success?
Well, firstly, I probably would say like lockdown sounds very extreme, and the success also can be kind of scary if you think about it. People think, oh gosh, what the success really is.
Yeah.
What does it mean? And so sometimes I would probably suggest to take this bigness away from the subject, and I would just ask people what they really want to do in their life, because like you mentioned before, if you focus on what's available and you put your energy into what you can create, then you're gonna focus on something very beautiful, and your mind will take you in a really nice direction, nice places, to places which you can't even plan. You know what I mean? You can't plan those things, but by focusing on the good and on creating from what you have available, you're gonna you're gonna really improve your mindset and you're gonna go right direction and things will turn out really well for you. But if you're gonna focus on all of the limitations, just and you're gonna be constantly complaining about it, first of all, you're not gonna create anything positive. That's gonna negatively impact your health, your relationship, your life, and probably everybody around. So it's about the perspective. You at the moment, I love and admire you absolutely, just like you, Matt. You're going out there, you're promoting yourself, you're talking to people, and you're sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, and that helps people massively. You're sharing your gift. My gift at the moment is this. I am hardly on Facebook because I decided to take a break from it. Just like you, Matt, said, just you're not pushing yourself to do something what you don't feel. And I said to myself, I think I need to change my strategy at this moment. So I am creating guided meditations and tapping. I'm recording tapping, and I'm working on just nobody can see it, but I'm working on a lot of stuff which I'm going to be posting on YouTube quite sometime soon. And like I said, EFT tapping, which I find very, very helpful, and beneficial. And I want to promote that as much as I can, especially after the great success which I had it from working with my clients by practicing those techniques. So I am not so visible, but I'm creating a lot, which I do believe gonna benefit many people. Just not only at this time where we are right now, but just further in the future. So everybody has a different ways of how they are dealing with their businesses, with their life. But like I said at the beginning, focusing on creating something and on possibilities, just will take you the right direction, and will keep you sane. That's what I believe.
Oh, I love that. I love that. You both always working so hard in the background. I know you are. I can just tell, and every time I speak to you, just think, oh my God, I'm inspired by it as well. I think it's going to be great, Angg. Good luck with that. I don't think you need luck because you'll smash it.
But like I said, Matt, thank you very much for your opinion. I really appreciate it. But do you know what? Who is the worst enemy of Angg?
You.
Yeah.
Little Angg.
Everybody is, I believe, everybody is guilty of doing that because we got this tendency to compare ourselves to others, and especially again, lockdown. Great opportunity to find your strength and focus on creating, or great opportunity to destroy yourself and you think you have nothing to offer because everybody's racing. And it's not about the race, life is not about racing, it's about embracing and living the moment, and for me, it was just working on myself and saying to myself, look, Angg, this is not a competition, you don't have to compete with yourself. You do you at your own pace, at your own speed. Iwona kept reminding me as well, just chill out, everything is fine, you're doing your speed, I'm going my speed, just everything is fine. And that helped me, just with not judging myself and not beating myself up for not being out there and promoting what I'm about when I don't feel like it. Do you know what I mean? Only because we have lockdown and it's expected to grow the business. You can grow business, your success and happiness, your own way, not necessarily, just on the social media. Of course, it's great to go out there and share, what you're about when you feel it. But sometimes you have to take a step back and work in the background. And that's exactly what I did,
And I love what you say, Angg, because this resonates for me with so many people.
Yeah.
Because your honesty, you just hit the nail on the head. A lot of people do what they feel they should be doing, not what they want. Yeah. So a lot of people feel pressure from external, from other people, what I should be doing. Is that okay? What does it look like? When actually, when you tap into your own values and how you feel, and for you being visible on social media and then taking a step back, this is massive because this is your boundary. This is about you and your growth. And and I know you are a ball of fire. Just because we don't see you, it doesn't mean it's not happening. Oh no. And we know that. But again, it's working with your own values. And for anybody listening, Do whatever feels right for you, not what you think somebody else expects from you. Because that's when we start work against ourselves and we stop being happy.
And I think that's a very powerful. That and what you just said is a very, very powerful. I think many people will resonate with that. Oh gosh, I literally can feel it. What about you, Matt? What do you think? Because I can see you smiling there. Just you've got something.
I'm just absorbing it all in. I love it, and a lot of what you said has resonated with me. Actually, I think it's maybe because we're both Aries, and because I think your birthday's the day after mine or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, we are close. Like
close like that. With that ball of fire that you said. But I went through a phase of everything social media, and I did a social media mastermind, and it was fantastic. I connected with some great people, and I think that everything happens for a reason. I've become a lot, how I see on spirituality, everything has evolved so much for me. So everything happens for a reason. So that came up because it had to set me up for something else. And then I thought, oh, maybe I'll do this. I think I just got bored, and I do this social media book. I called it the social media ninja or whatever. So spent a week writing this free ebook out, and it's something I might go back to later down the line. But as I said, I went on to a different mastermind. I've invested in myself, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't do it. So I put a lot, had some money put aside, and I thought, right, I need to do this because there's just no way it will happen. And so I'm outside my comfort zone, but I guess a little bit like what you've just described, really, Iwona, is that it's on my terms.
Yeah.
It's on my terms. So I know for me to grow, I need to be uncomfortable. But I'm at a stage now, I was like, what do I do next? I don't know what I'm doing. I connected with a guy this morning who's doing something similar, but he's like a few steps ahead of me. So it's great. And he's, Matt, we'll share ideas. It's, oh my God, hallelujah. So I'm very much out my comfort zone in what I'm doing at the moment, but I think that's an important part that I need to do as well, especially for what I talk about. I think I just felt it's almost, I've been feeling it for years, but I just needed to find my way. And I think, like what you said, Ange, sometimes, whether it's pressure or not, you kind of feel like, what should I be doing this? Or I know I've got gifts. So it was placing those gifts in the right sense. And at the same time, my children are so important to me without, being taken away, my time from them too much. They don't live with me generally. So it's already, finding that balance hasn't always been easy, but I've worked it, and I figure I'm lucky in a lot of dads in my situation, because I get to spend so much time with them. So it is finding, like I think you said, is that the principles and the things that matter to you. And I guess going back to the question is, and you may have said this, but I think finding out, what is it you want to do and why. Why is is so important. Yeah. And it's not a race. Don't worry. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You don't need to be first. If you want to be the best, you be the best. If you've got something to offer, if you know something that's a little bit, we got some knowledge in here, then you probably know more than someone else. So it could be something like that. But I think just go out and do it. And it is scary. It can be a little bit outside the comfort zone. But I think when you've put that pressure upon yourself to do it, then you get it done. I guess, and forgive me if I get this wrong, but I guess where both you have you emigrated into the UK, that must have been so scary in respect. And
young and stupid, but
this was spoken about by Gary Vee once, and he called it the immigrant mindset. Is because you put yourself in that situation, is that no, you will make it happen.
Yeah.
I'm not on that sense, but I've been hungry. I've been like, oh my God, what is going on? And I think it pushes you forward. You find that you become more resilient, and we pick up a few scars along the way, but I'm quite proud of them now. So, isn't it? What about yourself, Iwona?
Yeah, I like what you said, and let me come back. You said about that competition and that people have competition. Is actually there is no competition. When people realize that your only competition is yourself and your own judgment against you. Nobody is you. Nobody's on the same journey as you. Nobody's competing with you. The brain wants to think it, but it doesn't happen actually in real life. So if you want to be the best version of yourself that you can today.
Mm.
And if you're not happy, try a little bit harder the next day. And if you have a bad day, forgive yourself and move forward. But be your best friend, not your best enemy. So I think that's the message, because a lot of people kick their butt that they haven't done enough, or they put weight on, or whatever. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Just pick up from where you are, just one step at a time, one day at a time, and get to like for where you are, not where you're going. So that's the one. And when you said the Gary Vee and his mindset, but yeah, you know, we talk about all of the immigrants and stuff, but yeah, when you actually make big step, nobody makes big steps because they want to fail.
Exactly.
We take big risk because we want to make it happen. We want to make it better.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when the more bigger risks you take, the more likely you take some more.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just, I don't know, sorry for cutting you, but I found that once I started stepping out of my comfort zone, when I was staying in my comfort zone for some time, for too long, I was feeling uncomfortable by staying there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible. I hate that.
Yeah. It's just like, oh gosh, I don't have that adrenaline, you know, just like,
yes. And I think a lot of people, it's like, first we live in a comfort zone. Then when we first start to edge to the edge of the donut, you know what I'm talking about, Andrea, our donut principle.
Donut principle.
Yeah, and there's an edge pain, but actually people don't like it at the beginning because it's uncomfortable. But when you do it more and more and more, and you become comfortable with the uncomfortable, now we know the opposite. If we don't feel that edge, something's not right. We're not progressing. We need to feel that edge.
And do you know what I think? I think I know what it is that we are so attracted to, is the focus. Because when you only you have to be focused to keep going the direction you want to go, you know, and that's the focus. You're very hungry just to feel, you know, because when you're scattered all over the place, it's just kind of like.
When there is no pressure, and I'm not talking about stress, but pressure, if there's no pressure, we procrastinate more, we have time, or we think we have time. But actually when it comes to it, that pressure, it gives us laser focus, and then we do it. We just perform. And yeah, I'm one of those people, and I know you are, Ange, that we work very well under pressure.
Yeah.
We were doing things at 3 o'clock in the morning, working together on a project ready for next morning. So we know how to work under pressure. But it's great. But not everyone's like that. So find what's your level? Where do you work best at? And go with that, your natural ability.
And also realize this one thing, that you don't always have to be under pressure. You know, it's just again about that balance. You have to give yourself, you know, permission to do nothing sometimes, you know. Because if you are not rested, if you don't know where you're going, then all of the effort and energy you're putting out, you're just kind of wasting completely.
Yeah, no, you don't want to go into a burnout, definitely. But it's like roller coaster, isn't it? It's go, woo, go, yeah. So it is that, and that's the same in life. But make sure it's, you know, even a heartbeat is like this.
Yeah.
So make sure you just don't stay plateau, because there is no progress.
Yeah.
Do you give yourselves rewards? Because I know, like when we talked about it, it's like this. So I think also it's important. Whatever you set out on, if someone's setting out on a new thing, then just go for it, because you're going to learn. You won't know it all, but you'll learn as you go, and it might take you in a different direction. But I'll tell you what, you won't be stood still anymore. Which, you know, movement, I feel, is survival, you know, for our growth. But also something I never used to do, but I try and do it now, is make sure that I've got a reward for myself. You know, it's so important, even if it didn't work out. a project I attempted at the end of last year. Didn't quite work out. I learned loads from that, and but I still rewarded myself. You know, I thought, I'm going to treat myself, whatever. I can't remember what I treated myself. Now I better go and do it again. But I think that's so important. Do you guys set yourselves up? Like, how do you reward yourselves?
Iwona, go on. You go first. Go on.
Right, yeah. Great question, Matt. Because we tend to, when things are not quite as we want to, we give ourselves hard time. We tend to. But also, when people do well, we almost forget to tap, ourselves on the shoulder, say, have a gratitude, say, well done. And I've learned that skill. And when I can actually appreciate where I am, I can do so much more. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's come out great or not, it's the effort. I've done my best, and that's all I could done. And I'm grateful for trying. In terms of reward, depends how I feel. Sometimes it could be a mental thing, just to thank myself for giving my best, for going out of my comfort zone. Sometimes it will be that I will go and buy myself nice flowers. Sometimes it's a hot bath, and sometimes it's a great new scuba gear for the next holiday.
I forgot you're into scuba. Yes.
Yeah, and free diving, love it. Again, out of comfort zone completely for me. But also
one day. No.
And you're doing it this year with me in Malta.
They only allow us to travel, then yes.
We will be out there as soon as possible, definitely. But for me, actually in my work, my greatest reward, it's that twinkle in the eye and the smile in my clients when they achieve. And I look and I almost take like a mental picture of that, and I take that with me.
Yeah.
Because no amount of physical gifts or money can have that. That's the energy that I absolutely, and sometimes I get more excited than my clients do when I achieve. But yeah, that's my real reward. That's my food. That's what I thrive on.
I love that.
I think this is the sweetness of the fulfillment. That's what it is.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. What you said, just every single word. And I must say that I keep reminding myself just to appreciate myself for who I am, for those moments when I try, and for those moments when I don't, where I get to give myself permission to not to do anything. That's also important, because I don't want to keep rewarding myself only for those things that I do well when I perform. It's just for being.
Yeah.
For being, and that was a massive thing for me. And when I forget, I can be my worst pain in the butt, right?
We all can, yeah.
I know very well that when I start the day right, I kind of have easier and faster access to the right way of thinking. And what I mean by starting the day right, for me, is waking up early and meditating. That's what works for me like nothing else. Seriously, it's just like, imagine that whatever happens around you, from my personal perspective, when I don't have this calmness in me, I don't have buffer of time and I react to situations. Whereas when I put my mind in the right place, I kind of have a buffer of time. So if something happens, I have the time to respond. And it's easier for me to be kinder to myself. It's easier for me to remind myself that I am worthy, that I have something to offer, and things are not working out if they don't. Sometimes it's just not the right time, or maybe they just don't meant to. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. So for me, reward. Of course, I spoil myself. Of course, I do. But I think I don't want to fall into this trap. Like, I did something well, so I'm gonna buy myself a lolly. You know what I mean? Not that kind of approach. It's more about the mental thing. Like, no matter what happened, I'm worthy, so I deserve those things, regardless I perform well or not. You know. So that's what I do. Just every day, like a gentle reminder that, hey, Angg, you matter. That's what I do.
Definitely. But it is, yeah, it's appreciating where you are, isn't it? And I want to say for anybody who's watching, and if you feel stuck, the worst thing you can do is actually give yourself hard time, because that's not going to help you. It's to actually appreciate where you are, and love the situation that you are, embrace it, and then move on from it. Just, where do you actually want to be, bit by bit? There is no big jumps, little steps.
Yeah.
Actually, as a tip, is if you can get yourself around people that are doing what or have done what you want to do, and just getting that right, the good support networks. I mean, just before we come on, you both talked about your friendship and the collaboration that you guys work. So I think I asked, that I've missed your live show that you were both doing, but you've both taken kind of different routes, but remain so connected. And I think what you said was so important. And I think being around the right people will elevate you. And it's not always, yay, bouncy, bouncy, is it? But you've got then that almost like an accountability part and say, listen, you're doing great. And I can say that from what outside looking in. And I know probably haven't spoke for 6 months, and but what I see, and I know social media can be a window whether you're on it or not. You still see, like Andrew, I see, people that make comments about, oh my gosh, I think Sophie put something, can't wait. So I know you're doing some great work there with Sophie, and same with you, Iwona. What I'm seeing, you're just working so hard, and you're giving so much, and sometimes we do need to, be the lobster and hide under the rock and soften up a little bit to come out bigger, stronger, and knowing exactly, this is my worth and this is what I'm going to do. I don't know where I was going with this because I know I got totally sidetracked. But, that was it. So yeah, I think just find people. Like I would imagine anyone that's done something that you want to do would want to help, and if they don't, then good news. That was
the wrong people.
Yeah.
And I want to say, if anybody listening and you struggle and you think, reach out, because we are here, and that's what we do. We are all coaches, and that's what we do. And I think the beauty is we go through our ups and downs. So yeah. Oh, Annette, yeah, quite agree. Hi, Nettie. But yeah, it's it's not celebrating only the ups. It's actually appreciating the downs, and sometimes that's when we need the most help. Not when when we low. And yeah, like me and Anne, sometimes we just get the messages like, yeah, let's talk, and we both know we just have an evening with each other, and before you know it, 3 hours gone. Phones need charging, but we know where to reach out, and that's so important. And guys, for you listening, don't sit with it. If it's uncomfortable, reach out, because we are here to help connect. You have to ask. We don't know who you are unless you actually ask for help.
100%. And there's another thing.
Sorry.
That's absolutely fine. Sorry. There's another thing which I find very powerful, because people have this misunderstanding. They think they go to a coach and they're going to be lectured. No. Coach is a person that is mirroring you, is allowing you to express yourself and hear yourself. Because sometimes when you finally hear your own words and you're being heard, you find your own solutions, and that's the true power. Yes. Nobody's fixing you, you're fixing yourself, and this is the real true, self-empowerment, which you're giving yourself only by allowing yourself to go to someone who's going to mirror that for you, make it, just possible for you. So this is the true power of coaching, and I know, guys, you're going to agree with me. If we didn't go through a hell of a lot of shit in our own life, we would probably not have that deep understanding. But with everything what we've gone through, we came out on the other side much stronger, and with so much of compassion and understanding, which made us who we are right now, And I think lots of people who are out there thinking they are in a farm. Even if you are, you can turn this sorrow into your victory. You just have to choose, because not making decision is also making decision. So you decide which way you want to go, But
it's always a decision, yeah. And I love what you said, Angg, because actually, out of the people that are actually out there and want to help, that are the great coaches, is because they went through it. People don't realize, because they almost see the light now. They don't realize those great people that want to help and willing to help, they went through it themselves, so they know what it feels like.
Yeah.
They know what dark feels like. And that's why they do what they do in the first place, because they know there is the other side and they know how to get to the other side. So yes.
I think for some of us, we were meant to go through that though, because whatever it is we went through, because it's going to be different for all of us. But it was because we were destined to be the ones to guide others, basically.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. When I went through my things, I hated at the time. Now I appreciate that.
Yeah.
My story, because it helped me to be a better person and help other people so much more. I could not do it without that experience.
No.
So yeah, absolutely.
100%.
So before we get near the end, what's been key? So with the relationship that you both have, because Iwona, you're based up in York, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how have you maintained that? What has made your relationship so unique? Is it because I feel like you really? I said this off air. You complement. I feel you complement each other without words. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you want a very spiritual explanation of this relationship?
I think, put it in a common language, is that we embrace our individuality.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't compete, and then we come together and we know how strong we are together.
Yeah.
But we are strong as a unit before we strong together.
Yeah.
So we complement each other, but we don't rely on each other, if that makes sense. We don't,
So as you said, him on air, the perfect relationship, Iwona.
Yeah.
The perfect relationship. If we could have all the relationships working like this, that they are great together, great separate, yes, it will be a different place, totally.
Well, like I said, earlier, everybody's on their own, personal journey, and your job here is to follow your happiness, follow your spark, follow your bliss.
Yeah.
You are, when you're in any type of relationship, you're not joining a hip. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to go separate, take care of your happiness, and then when you come back, you bring that happiness with you, which means it's the fullest version of yourself, and you cannot give anyone anything better than that.
I agree. And I figure it works that you kind of you mirror each other, but you're also in a great way. And this might be, I don't know if this is the spiritual element you were talking about, Angg, but you reflect back each other, but also able to work on the things. Hey, this needs work. You see it in yourself. If that makes sense. I probably said that all a bit upsy daisy, but I think you reflect back each other.
But at the end of the day, I think there was two witches that just resonate, and we just let's fly together a bit.
At the moment we are
join my broom.
At the moment we are working behind the scene, and we are improving our brooms, so they are more advanced.
Have you got anything coming up, either of you, that you're working on this year? Obviously, Angg, you're working on your EFT.
I'm working on tapping, guided tapping meditations, relaxing meditations. My aim is to help more women that are dealing with eating disorder and confidence. This is a massive thing, because lots of women struggle with that. I personally struggle with that for many years, so that for that reason is very close to my heart. But the elements and the methods and practices that I am going to put out there are exactly the same things that help me personally. So that's my thing, which I'm working on right now, and soon I'm going to be putting it out there for others to benefit from that, hopefully.
Well, make sure I got to get you on for an interview about that then, as a separate thing, and then help just share it out to my audience. So yeah,
that would be great.
What about yourself, Ivona? You're busy. You just look busy all the time to me in a good way.
Yeah, I am busy, but other than just working one-to-one with the clients in the clinic, luckily we could do it over lockdown. But now I'm helping more people because I'm running online workshops on mindset and actually how to get people out of pain and into happiness, how to bridge that when they're in pain, because that's when I meet my clients. So giving them the skills to actually unlock the journey so they can make it to the other side of the rainbow. So they can transform into the butterflies if they wish to. So that's my thing. So I do that once a month as a group through Zoom.
Oh, okay. I got to get you on for a separate interview as well. We'll have to sort that out. But of course, I know we've gone off my pages a little bit, but please put all your links in the comments. And anyone that's watching that's follow mine, please follow Ivona, and you're going to get so much. Even if we're just hiding a little bit, I've been a bit more hidden than usual, but you will pick up something from both of you. I know.
Like I said, with people for watching, pick the person that resonates with you. Reach out. It doesn't matter who, but reach out. Don't feel stuck, because that's the worst you can do. The person that feels right for you will help you, because that's what we do.
If I don't, and even with that sense, I probably between the three of us, we know someone that can.
Yeah, of course.
The amount of people,
we are not the ultimate answer for everyone.
No, I agree.
We can work only with so many that work, that we resonate with, and that's cool.
And I think it's a beautiful thing that there's so many people out there wanting to, assist others and help others. Because like you mentioned just a second ago, there is so many people out there, impossible for a small amount of coaches to deal with everyone. So the more, the better, You can impact someone's life. Even if this is only one person, then you are successful,
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it's made a difference. Well, I'm going to have to wrap up. As I said, I've got my youngest here and it's getting close up to his bedtime. I can't believe the time has gone again.
Very quickly, yeah.
Do you remember last 2 times? It was like, over.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Matt, for your invitation. It was great, as always.
No, it's my pleasure. Thank you for coming on. Obviously, anyone watching, listening, please follow Ivona and Angg. And I'm sure we'll be back for another chat before we know it, right? But
100%.
Definitely.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Peace, love, always. Bye.
Take care, bye. Bye.